Lonzo, we have a,
Need a motion, ma'am.
yep. Do we have a
Madam
motion?
Chair, I make a motion to come out of executive session.
All right, we have a second.
Second.
Lou, all right. All those,
Sir. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
What?
You don't, nobody.
no,
Go ahead.
all right.
You don't have to do a roll call.
Okay, all right. All those in,
Sorry about that.
Aye.
all right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
You got to watch. Yeah, I seen somebody with his hand flash through. It was Kevin's. I thought it was somebody walking by. You got to be careful on these days. Yes, ma'am. This is certification in closed session pursuant to subsection 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended. Each member of the Board of Supervisors, upon roll call, certifies that, to the best of their knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from the open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and only such business matters that were identified in the motions by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the Board of Supervisors. Any member of the Board of Supervisors who believes that there was a departure from the requirements shall state so prior to the vote, indicating the substance of that departure in his or her judgment has taken place. Are there any supervisors who believe a departure has taken place? Being none, if you agree that the matters heard, discussed, or considered during the closed meeting were pursuant only to the motions by which the closed meeting was convened, please signify by saying yea or yes. Tim Lovelace.
Yes.
Luann Wallace.
Yes.
Carl Ray.
Yes.
Steve Breeding.
Yes.
David Eaton.
Yes.
Horace Christian.
Yes.
Rebecca Dye.
Yes.
Ma'am, you have approval to return to regular session.
Thank you. Next item that is on our agenda is any matters presented by the board. Tim, do you have anything you'd like to discuss?
Not tonight, no ma'am.
All right, David?
I just got two things. I'd like to congratulate the Honecker girls basketball team for winning the state championship, and also the Honecker academic team as they compete for the state. So I just want to send out. I know it's hard for to get big groups of people in over here to be able to acknowledge their success. But being back-to-back state champs is a real honor, and I just want to congratulate them.
Steve?
Yes, ma'am. I just have one thing. I had this email come across. I don't know why I got it, but I got it. It was on a new program. It was coming out of Giles. Well, it's not a new program, but it was a program out of Giles County called Fish Virginia First. And I started looking at it, and they were going to have a little seminar. So I checked into it, and I sent Heather an email and told her she might be interested in it. So she did. But what it amounts to, Giles County started this program several years ago, and they take partners in. And what they do is they do advertisements in publications and have a website set up for areas that want to promote fishing opportunities in the area. Well, naturally, I thought about the Clinch River, and I thought about Laurel Bed Lake and the Pinnacles and all that. And the fee for entering it or becoming a part of it is $500 a year. And, from an advertisement standpoint, I don't see I could get much more money. So I told her to go ahead and do it, that I would fund it out of my discretionary money. And I gave David the opportunity. He said he would pony up half of it. But I didn't want to hog it. I want to, if the board wants to do that, we could appropriate $500 and we'll keep our discretionary money. Or if the board doesn't want to do that, we'll go ahead and do it, David and I. So I just want to throw that out there, whatever the preference of the board is. But I think it's a great thing. We'll get some publications, not only statewide, there'll be national publications. Who knows? We may, if we get 2 or 3 people in here looking for fishing, and I didn't even think about the J.K. Music's place, the trout thing. So we've got a lot of areas. So she's going to follow up on that. So yeah, whatever the board's pleasure is on that. No. This is just an advertisement to promote people to come into the area and fish. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But I mean, Clinch River's big time. Laurel Bed Lake is a smallmouth area, and they stock the pinnacles. What's that? Cedar Creek down at the Pinnacles is stocked. Yeah. Well, it's on private property. But that's where JK Music. He's got that property leased, and he has people coming in here, on fly fishing trips such as that. So.
Madam Chair, do you
Yes.
want Steve to do a motion or somebody else?
Well, they can take their discretionary funds and just
So
do
you
it.
don't
right?
want a piece of the action.
I'll
Okay.
put some money in. Yeah, I'll throw some in, cause I've still got some. We don't need a motion for that, do we, Katie? If we want to use our discretionary funds to help do this ad.
As
I mean, it's Clinch River now.
Yes.
It's the most biologically diverse river in the
can I make
United
a
States.
can I make a recommendation?
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I tell you what, David and I'll do it, and y'all
But
forget about it.
I thought that we should have a little discussion. I was going to add to it, but if you want to take it.
Well, I mean, I just didn't want David and I to hog it, because I'm not known for a big tourism buff, but I thought this was just too good a deal to let pass. For $500, you couldn't buy 2 lines in one of those magazines.
Yes, I agree. And since we don't have a motion, we'll have discussion. But the $500 is really cheap, good deal. Okay, this is an introductory. Now, just so everybody knows, our little tourism body does not carry a very large budget. With that being said, I don't want to saddle the tourism authority with extra funding for next year, the year after, the year after. So, maybe during budget times that we say we need to increase that budget, or we need to allow that body to work so that it can raise its money. And they're at the very bottom of the rung. They can't even pony up enough money to get some of the larger tourism grants. So just saying, I think it's a grand idea. I think it's one of the better ideas I've heard lately. So I'm all for it, but I think we need to look at how the future holds for us to pay for this, and if the price keeps going up, because I think Heather was trying to run in Blue Ridge magazine, and she only had, it was $1,300 for an for a small little thing.
Yes, ma'am.
And so if we want to fish Virginia and Russell County, we're going to have to come up, we as a board, are going to have to come up with money to make all this happen. And in our packet, I'm segueing, it's not my turn, but I'm taking it. I'm segueing into another thing. We haven't talked about the cigarette tax. And it's in here. And
What
we
was
haven't
that,
talked
Lou?
about the hospitality tax.
Yeah, that was for FYI for the next meeting.
Oh, it's not for public consumption?
Yes, ma'am. Everything's for public. Yes, we do.
You make a good investment, you get a good return on your investment,
Yes.
don't you?
Yes.
You make a good investment, you get a good return on the investment. And you can't invest pennies and expect thousands of dollars. We're going to have to up the pony a little bit to get recognition here. I can't even say it. But I'm so tired. But
Okay.
I've had a hard day. But I agree with Lou. I think it's going to have to be looked at a little bit more deeper. I mean, you just can't do a whole lot with just that $500 would go a long way. And I think if all the board members just commit $100, it would really be a statement, because you're not going to get an ad in that paper, in that thing for $500.
Can I make a recommendation? Yes, it's a,
That's a year.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking
Yeah.
about the Jonah project, the Trout project, all the Clinch River, and all the other projects that is hinged, and everybody's talking about fish. I think it'd be a good opportunity to put Russell County in there, you know, in the fish world, as recognition.
All right. Okay. Oris, do you have
what-
any? Lou, do you have anything else?
Sorry.
So,
Sorry, board. The discretionary money that y'all have done has been very beneficial in each one of your districts. Y'all have take that money and give to people in groups that did not have. So y'all all have made the point, and you've actually enforced the point, is this is a county initiative, whether it's from the Clinch to the Pinnacle, all over the county. So let us make a motion to approve the 500 for this time. Look at it under the new budget committee and consideration for other alternatives to pay for it, either under the cigarette or the meal taxes. And for right now, since
Just
this
take-
is a county initiative, you don't spend your money, spend it with what is in your district. Help your people out.
Well, you
I'm,
know,
I'm giving you a choice.
yeah, but people in my district
sick-
fish in the Clinch River and
Mhm.
Laurel Bed Lake and everywhere else. You know, this is a county-wide thing. I don't.
That's what
think
that's
it-
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
yeah.
If
So, Steve, make a motion that
I'll make the motion for whatever Lonzo said.
we will
500.
share the.
I'll
discre-
second it.
Okay.
y'all keep your discretionary
Steve,
money and give it to the people, your
David.
groups that you take care of.
Okay. No.
I'll take care of this
No. We can
This
take
time.
care.
this time.
And we'll look at it from a budgetary standpoint in the next year's budget.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
But you know, if tourism's going to be a real thing, they need a little money to work with. you know.
I agree, sir.
All right. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Any more discussion? Done it backwards. All right. Horace?
I didn't mean to occupy so much
That's
time
all
on
right.
that, but it was a good thing.
Oris, do you have any comment? You have any concern? Lou?
Yes. All the towns have that ability, and that was one of the things that came through the state legislation. All towns can tax on meals and cigarettes right now. And all 95 counties in the state of Virginia voted yes for this, to be able to not have to go to Richmond for a handout all the time. They gave us the taxing authority to be able to do this. Again, it gives an opportunity for the Board of Supervisors to make sure that they don't have to raise real estate or personal property or any other tax. This is a luxury tax. If you smoke, then you pay. If you eat at McDonald's, then you'll pay that amount. Or if you eat out at a more expensive restaurant, then you'll pay that taxation. But again, it keeps the real estate level, which y'all have done for 20 years. So this is an opportunity, but it also gives you the opportunity to put in these other projects because we are coming out of the pandemic. We are growing as we are seeing in the census, which I thought we would be dropping a little bit. We've actually held. So hang on. We'll get through the pandemic and hopefully we come out on this better on the other side.
Let me ask you, Lonzo, how long is it going, this can go into effect July 1st, right?
Yes, sir.
Have we got enough time that we can get it done?
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, we need to work up a schedule so we can get this done so it can go into effect. We don't lose any more time on it.
Yes. We have already been working on this in the background, and it is done by an ordinance that was, they made
Public
it very,
hearing.
they made it very easy for the Board of Supervisors of all 95 counties to do this. So the mechanisms to put it in place is very simple. It,
Do we have to have a public hearing on
Yes,
those
sir.
ordinances?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so we need to get those set up for
yes,
May.
and Katie and yes.
One of my suggestions.
the
Oh,
timeframes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll work on that and get all the time frames that you all need.
One of my recommendations, I guess, or suggestions would be to let the public know that let us earmark some of these funds to go toward critical opportunities and projects and project developments. One is like economic development, and Ernie and them have been, this board has attracted over 11 new industries in this county and brought in jobs and opportunity, but now he needs a secretary, bad. And, there's a lot of things, we don't contribute a whole lot of money to the IDA. And I think that needs to be considered or looked at to make everybody's jobs more efficient, make it run better. But I'd like to see us earmark some of these critical things. If we're talking about increasing the budget for tourism dollars, I'd like for us to look at that and let the public know how we're going to pay for it through this action. And I think it's just good business.
It's kind of like having a rich relative leave you a little money, and now we're going to invest it somewhere. Okay, and we need to try to figure out where we're going to invest it.
One thing, too, I need to say, please, Madam Chair, I forgot. Mountain Movers and the Ministerial Association took action to help the people in Texas. The Board of Supervisors in Tazewell County sent us a check for $2,500. We had churches step up. We had limited time to be able to get the types of resources together we need to get, and I told them, maybe one of these days we might need Texas. You never know what we might end up doing, but we're working right now to try to work that out, and now they're going to send a group of people probably down there to do some home construction, some rebuild. They did during the hurricane. So, everybody and even the community, we need to be much in prayer for people like that. When they're devastated, they've got the water pretty much straightened out, but we have tucked in a lot of water. So we're trying to work the logistics out of that through Mountain Movers. And I forgot about that, and I apologize. But I want to thank all the board members on Mountain Movers and JF&M for working with us. So I just want to make the board aware of what's going on.
It's two separate ordinances, sir. It's at the end. Mr. Christian.
Okay, Carl, do you have anything, sir?
No, Madam Chair.
All right. The only thing that I have, and I'm going to address, we received an email late this afternoon about appointing someone to the River Roundtable, and Mr. Lester, if you don't care, if you'll contact Mr. Keith and have him give us a little presentation or something. This was a last minute, and I don't know if everyone received this, because I know I didn't, and so. Oh, well, I was looking at this email sent 3:02 from, and Tim, your name's not even on it. So if you will ask Mr. Keith to come present a little something at our next meeting so that he can discuss it, so everybody will have knowledge. I don't want to not include it, but it was such a late presentation, I worry that we, wouldn't do justice by it. And
Yes,
also,
ma'am.
I would like to another concern I have is like the Phase 3 at Belfast Water Project that we voted on. I want to say thank you for everybody for supporting that. But if you know anyone up toward the county line, the Arrowhead subdivision up that way, that would like to have a user agreement, to contact Harvey, and they will meet with them and they can go over what it is, a LMI, the user agreement, and nothing else I can think of at this time. And with that, I will take a motion to reconvene next week, March the 8th, at 6 o'clock, here for a public hearing on the continuation of government ordinance. So we will reconvene here next Monday. So do we have a motion for that?
So moved.
David? Thank you.
Second.
Second by Steve. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, next week.